I'm Al Sutherland with your Mesonet Weather Report. The moisture is just hanging around this year. Check out all of the storms popping up on radar across the southern Great Plains Wednesday afternoon. That moisture has continued to drive heat indexes into the uncomfortable and dangerous ranges. Tuesday's heat index hit 106 at 4 Mesonet sites, 105 at 6 other sites. It's high humidities driving these high heat indexes. At only one site Tuesday afternoon did the actual air temperature make it to the high of 98. How dangerous was the heat Tuesday for folks? According to the wet bulb globe temperature map, the red areas fell into a high risk at some point during the day. The black areas had an extreme risk. The heat has been at high risk for cattle too. The maximum cattle comfort map for Tuesday afternoon had 77 sites at 110 or hotter, and 6 of those at 117 on the cattle comfort index. Our lingering moisture is also keeping our plant disease risk high. Map areas colored green, yellow, or red continue to be at higher risk for plant foliage diseases. Here's Gary with a check on drought and our lake levels.
Thanks, Alan. Good morning, everyone. Now, despite those heavy rainfalls we've seen over portions of the state over the last week or two, we are still dealing with building drought across parts of Oklahoma. Let's take a look at the latest drought monitor map and see what we have. Now, the big blob of heavy downpours across the central Oklahoma did improve drought conditions and abnormally dry conditions in that area, but we are still dealing with those moderate drought conditions expanding over portions of northeast Oklahoma and also across southeast Oklahoma. Now, this is a classic flash drought situation. We are dealing with that drought still building over those portions of the area. And it's pretty easy to see why if we look at the percentage of normal rainfall over the last 30 days from the Mesonet. As you can see across southeast Oklahoma, they've had less than 20% of normal rainfall over the last 30 days. That in some cases, that's less than an inch of rainfall right through the heat, the worst heat we've had this summer. But you can also see those areas of very heavy rains across central over into east central Oklahoma, which have helped to improve those conditions. And we're also getting a little bit dry up in north central Oklahoma and in the central Oklahoma panhandle. Now, we don't just look at rainfall statistics when we look at drought indicators. We also look at things like lake levels. So if we look at this graphic from the Oklahoma Water Resources Board, we can see some of those lakes down across southeast Oklahoma are starting to get a little bit low. And up in northeast Oklahoma, where those drought conditions are starting to expand, definitely not a dangerous situation we're talking about as we've seen over the last 5 years with greatly reduced reservoir levels, but just the beginnings of a little bit of hints of that flash drought, and that helps us verify the fact that those areas are in drought conditions. We will keep our eyes on those drought conditions and report those to the U.S. Drought Monitor. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.